What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
I've got a hot cup of coffee here, and I am ready to discuss a couple of things strategy related. First of all, we're going to take a look at the current prices of the golden moments, holy grails, as I call them. I know a lot of you young folks call them grails without the holy, because that's old-fashioned. So I need to remember to leave off the holy and just say grail so I can be cool like the cool kids. We're going to look at those prices, talk about the drop, and then I'm going to discuss whales stacking grails and bring up a couple of points that were brought to my attention in a Twitter discussion that concern liquidity as it relates to selling and when you get out, how you get out, and maybe a couple of things that people are not considering as they stack these grails. All right, with that, let's jump into the Ecomi Wiki, and we're going to look at the prices here of the items post-drop. Let's see, let me move this out a little bit. Oh, the price is right there. There we go. I was unsuccessful on the drop. I was pretty disappointed because I did get a screen saying that it was attempting to reserve my item, and then it went to sold out. Don't pay attention to my hair. I need to cut the side of my hair because it's sticking up on the side. I'm having hair problems here. Let me try to fix myself up a little bit so I can look handsome and presentable for you people. All right, that's a little bit better. Now, let's look at all the pricing here. And what do we notice? We notice that the golden moments values are going down, with the skateboard coming in at $13.70 now. I had my eyes on this. It was a few $100 higher before the drop. We see Elsa coming back down below $4,000. Pizza Planet Truck, which was holding strong at $2,000, is now at a bargain price of $14.99. Wally all the way down to $12.99 and 69 cents. Wally was hovering around $1,500 or even more. We see the partner statue coming back off of a peak of $47,000, currently at $42. Avengers logo, $1.5 thousand. Iron Man, $2,699. My beloved R2-D2 holding fairly strong, but at $81.99, coming off the peak a week or two ago of $9,500. Homer and Bart, that was sitting at $2,100, looking like it was trending up, has come back a little bit to $1,800 even. There's C-3PO holding strong at $44. That's not bad. Mickey Sorcerer's hat has been up and down, bouncing between $41 and about $46, currently at $43.99. There's Donald Duck and Daisy Duck, the common, coming in at $15.68 off of the drop. I saw that one, I think it was over $2,200 if I'm not mistaken. And then here is the Lady and the Tramp Rare. And that's interesting that the Rare would come in at $13.78. We see the popularity of Donald and Daisy Duck. They get the FA tag along with Lady and the Tramp with an FA tag. Donald and Daisy fetching a higher price, even though it is the common. I'm in a hold pattern, and I'll tell you why. We still have this hot tamale or the hot sauce coming at the end of the month. I don't know what it is. And we also have the MTL. We don't know if that's going to drop within the time frame that they promised. And we have learned that we can't trust the dates that are given for when these things are supposed to happen. So we don't know if we're going to see MTL this month or not. I'll believe it when I see it. Now, it is said to be in beta test, that they are testing it right now. I still stick by the theory that MTL is going to cause a short-term drop in market prices across the board. If anything, it will be people testing to make sure that the system works. I might sell one item and grab a few gems just to try it out and see how easy it is, if it's glitch free, how quickly that I can liquidate. That's a good thing to know, that if you want to liquidate that you can. And because of that, I think that we will at least see a few days of drops in prices. At worst case scenario, it might drop the prices for a much longer period of time, maybe weeks or even a month. but we need to know where we sit overall with the market trend. And I will be looking at the charts and the graphs and show you some of the Grail items and where they are in the price progression so we can assess what stage of the process that we are in. We know that there are 4 stages to the market. We have accumulation, where prices are laying low on the ground like a lazy dog, and then we get a little bump, a little uptick in prices where we have the consolidation mode, and then we have the crazy time period of markup, a blow off top, and then distribution. I think we're still at the tail end of distribution, and we have not leveled off on everything just yet so that we can say, yeah, this is accumulation mode. I can't really make that call just yet. So I'm going to stick with my guns and play it safe and not go crazy buying. And I might miss the mark. We could be at the bottom right now, but I'm not comfortable just yet with spending the gems, as I don't have many gems yet. I've been spending enough loading up on these cheap comics at $12 to $13 a piece. And I definitely think it's worthwhile stacking on the comics, because for me, it's an easy gain. I'd rather have myself investing in these cheap comics than letting my money sit in the bank account when I don't have bills due. There are those of you who say, well, you have to stack the right comics. You can't just get anything. Well, I tell you what, I disagree with that sentiment. And the reason is, I am a firm believer that all of these items are valuable and a good purchase within the market. I'll give it to the Ecomi team. They don't put junk on the VeVe app. The last time that we accused them of putting junk on the app in too great of numbers, it was like Spider-Man sitting on the market at $30. And you know what happened there. It was also like the time when the first comic was accused of being junk that sat in the market going down to a bottom of $1. We know what happened there. We're at what, $398 for Marvel Comics #1? Now, the reason why I have such confidence in the $12 and $13 comics is because of the value when I open them up and read them. I get great enjoyment by reading some of these comics because I haven't been into comics since I was in 7th grade back in 1980. So when I open up these $12 and $13 comics and read them, I get such enjoyment out of it that I figure if this is as enjoyable as it is to me, if you give it 6 months to a year, there's going to be a whole lot of new users that come in and will find value too, where they'll say, hey, this is a really good comic. I want to do more of these. Now, for those of you that want to pass them up, go ahead and pass them up. They're an easy double, in my opinion. If you look at the price history, you will notice that. All right, enough about comics. Let's talk about whales stacking grails. As we know, there are people who are sitting on multiple golden moment grails. There's some people that have 10, 15, 20. One gentleman has like, 100 of the Walt statue? I mean, that's just insane. I would love to have that. Well, I got to sitting there thinking about that. And when the discussion came up on Twitter about, well, what are these whales going to do? As they say, you better stack up on these things and get them while you can, because they're only going higher and you're not going to be able to get them later. So you should be piling up. Well, what's going to happen when you have 100 of these things and you're looking to unload into the market? Do you think that a whale holding 100 of these partner statues is going to be able to sell them all within a reasonably short period of time without affecting the market prices? The answer to that is no. If you look at Bitcoin and how the whales purchase and sell on Bitcoin, the same applies here. That's why we have this 4 phases of price movement. Whales will nibble on Bitcoin in the accumulation stage. Then they will get aggressive and start buying large chunks in the consolidation stage, which tips off the general public. And then the feeding frenzy happens. But during the accumulation stage, they don't come in buying 100 Bitcoin at a time, because that will tip off the public. And then everyone else will jump on board thinking something's going on and the prices are about to go up. But when they nibble away small amounts at a time, it doesn't drive the market prices higher until they want it to go higher. So during that consolidation phase, once they run into the markup phase where we go vertical, that's where they're selling. Now, a whale in the VeVe app, I don't know if they're going to be acting in the same way that they do in crypto, but if you've got 100 walls and we hit a peak price, you're not going to be able to sell all 100 at that same time, because the minute that you flood the market with a bunch of listings, other people will panic and undercut your price. And when the undercut process starts, the floor drops out the bottom. So if you've got enough money that you can buy 100 waltz, that better come with a strategy where you're slowly accumulating. And then once we hit a consolidation period, you might have to sell 1 to 2 at a time so as not to tank the market. Now, I know this sounds kind of funny because the majority of us listening to this video are not whales. But if you're sitting around wishing that you had won the lottery so you could buy 100 partner statutes, that might not be a smart decision. That might not be a wise financial strategy, because it would be better to diversify and spread that out. So when it comes time that you want to liquidate and take profits, you're not heavily over invested in one item where your ability to sell into market demand could affect the price. So liquidity, which is a fancy word for saying enough buyers out there to soak up your sell orders. When you don't have the buyers over here and you've got a bunch of these partner statutes stacked up and you have a certain market price, you don't have liquidity. Let's say if the current price right now is 42,000 and you're sitting on 100 of these, that 42,000 price might be good for say 2 or 3 sales. And after that's gone, the next level might go down to 40,000. The next 2 or 3 might be 38, so on and so forth. Because as you're selling and feeding them into the market and increasing the available supply, price will go down. All right. When I'm stacking, and I only stack normal items, I don't have the money to stack up Grails. Okay. When I stack, I do the same thing. When the market goes vertical, I'll sell 1 here, 1 there. I never even ever consider selling 2 or 3 at a time or putting a ton of listings all at once. Some of these people do this to make a sell wall and cause people to panic, and they manipulate the market by doing this, like putting up a huge sell wall at a higher price, getting people to lower their price, and then coming in with a bunch more underneath that price. That's a classic manipulation technique. But when I stack certain items that I think will have higher future value, I can sell a few to free up the gems to purchase other items. And then I only have a few. I've only got 1 of, say, Pizza Planet truck. I have 1 of the, let's see, what else do I have? I've got the hat, Mr. Hat, and I've got 1 of the R2D2. That's all I've got. Now, I might pick up a few more if these prices continue to slide, which I think they might, and we'll just have to keep our eyes on it and watch. In fact, let's just hit refresh and see if we get anything new here. Let me go back in and type golden moments. If I get lucky and these prices come down a little bit more, then, hey, I might be able to snag a couple at a good price, and we'll just have to wait and see. Well, anyway, that is all. We'll have to wait and see what happens for the rest of the week and see what exciting new drops are coming up and whether or not we get the hot sauce by the end of the month, which I'm hoping that we can get to the end of the market correction, the distribution phase. Well, I'll know, okay, now it's time to go heavy and hard on buying. And then once we hit into the consolidation mode, as we approach the markup phase, that's when I'm going to go into strategy 3.0 and then implement my different tactics on how to sell. And I will have that video on the eBay process. I need to dig in and see what the latest is with eBay first. And then I'm going to do a 3-part series where I'm going to give some eBay basics, then get into how I check prices and see where trends are going on eBay, and then the advanced tactics of how it would best benefit you when selling on eBay and all of the considerations that you must make for fees. That's about all I've got for now. This is Carlton. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and we'll be back with the next strategy video. We'll see you.